We're live, okay. Oh yeah, we went on to chapter 7. Thank you. Okay, just trying to remember where we are exactly. Okay, so we finished with this verse about the value of sadhu sangha. Beautiful verse spoken by Lord Kapila-dev to his mother. Satam prasangam mama vir. So we are in chapter 7 of Affectionate Guidance, Transcendental Worlds. Satam prasangam mama virya samvido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana kata tajjoshanad ashvapavarga vartmani shradhada tir bhaktir anukamishyati. By the association of the sadhus, talks revealing my super glories take place. Those talks are nectar to the pure ear and heart. Continue affectionately in this way, and rapidly you will gain first faith in myself, who am the way to purification of all evils. Then heart's devotion and finally divine love or prema bhakti will graciously appear within your heart. Mother, associate with the sadhus and follow their directives. Then you will understand everything. Why? The sadhus are always trying to satisfy me, and you can see how they satisfy me by having their association. If they are affectionate to you, they will give that consciousness to you, and you will easily get my grace. This is the only way. Whoever follows it reaches me very quickly, and this is also my direct advice in the scriptures. In the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, we find the shloka, Ye vai bhagavata prokta upaya hyatma labdaye anjapum sam avidusham vidi bhagavatan hitam. The ways for even the ignorant to reach him have been told by the Supreme Lord. Know those ways to be Bhagavat Dharma. This is a very nice verse which Srila Gurudev liked very much in Bhagavatam. It's a definition of Bhagavat Dharma. You know that essentially saying that which is told directly by the Lord himself. Now, there's nothing indirect here, but what directly. Maybe this rule is given here and that rule has been given there, but what does the Lord directly say? That is Bhagavat Dharma. And so Gurudev continues, if Bhagavan says, I like fried potato, and I give him fried potato, he will be satisfied. It is not necessary to think out what will satisfy him if he tells us what he likes. So this is the directive of Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord. He is telling you what to do. Do this, do that. This is Bhagavat Dharma. So Kapila Dev was saying, Bhagavat Dharma is what is practiced by the real sadhu. You follow that. You need the association of the sadhu. And this is my final advice to you, Mother. That is, satam prasangam mama virya samvido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana kata. They are hearing about me, Shravanam. They are glorifying me, Kirtanam. They are remembering me, Smaranam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. They are trying to serve me in every way possible. Also, Pada, Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. Serving my feet, prayer, servitorship, friendship, and self-surrender. They are offering everything to me. They try to do everything with my association. If you associate with such sadhus, then you must also do that. There is no other work there in their association. So you must be benefited if you take advice from the sadhu and follow the sadhu's character. This is the first and last advice, and very simple advice of Bhagavan Kapila Dev. And in the 11th canto, the Lord himself also defines Bhagavat Dharma. So what is followed by the Vaishnava and written in the Srimad Bhagavatam is Bhagavat Dharma. Then in the next verse we find, yan astaya narorajan na pramadyeta karhichit davan nimilyavana netre naskalin napatet iha. If you take that path, you have no fear from anywhere. Just run. Whether your eyes are open or closed, it doesn't make any difference. You won't fall down. We cannot guess from here how much joy and ecstasy is there, how much happiness and enjoyment. We are trying to guess, but we can't because our puppy brains can't conceive it. Everything is explained in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Srila Rupa Goswami. That is called the science of devotion. There, Srila Rupa Goswami has said, Vyatitva bhavana vartma yaschamat karabharabu hridi sattvo jwale badam swadate sadaso mata. What can we guess about that plane? It is living. The slightest idea of that ecstasy you cannot guess with your puppy brain. What can you think? You can try to imagine how great the sky is, but how will you imagine it? In your estimation, only 2 kilometers or 2 miles is great. But your brain can think, yes, the same sky is in America and in India, so some kind of broader conception is possible. Still, even that is less than a mustard seed. 1 mustard seed means 14 worlds up and down. All those planes together are called one Brahmanda or universe, and that is like no more than a mustard seed in the presence of the divinity. Then how much can you guess? If you can surpass the ideas of your entire consciousness, then perhaps you can consider what kind of wonder that ecstasy is. Our brains are always agitating this way and that, trying to understand, but we cannot guess what kind of wonder that is, but it is. And the sages and the seers, the munis and rishis, they feel for us. And for our benefit, they have compiled the Shastra to guide us, especially Srila Veda Vyas. So it is not helpful to try to understand this with our tiny brains. Only when that ecstasy will come and conquer our hearts can we feel it. And we must wait for that, not try for it. This is the way to taste it. When he will come, my heart will be fulfilled within a second. That is the ecstasy, the essence given in the perfect philosophy of Vedanta. Raso vaisa, rasam yevayam, labdvanandi bhavati. If you want that ecstasy, you can try to worship that flame. Then you will get it by the mercy of the real associates of Krishna. And that is the main thing. But there's no need to be hopeless. Much hope is here, especially in this Kali Yuga. Mahaprabhu said, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam. Chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra without offense, and you will get everything. This verse, it's a Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and it's giving a definition of rasa. What is rasa? It's saying, like that which you cannot understand. That which is like, I'm trying to remember the literal translation. That which is like supremely relishable to the heart, which is like utterly astonishing, and which you cannot understand. Like with your mental system now, like you cannot understand. It's completely inconceivable. Okay, I'm remembering now. Hridi sattvo jwale, that which is relished in the pure heart. That one must have a purified heart in order to be able to experience that. And chamatkara, it is utterly astonishing. And it is beyond the reach of your, present experience, something like that. So Gurudev is saying, like, giving the example of the sky, which is very nice. Like, can we imagine how big the sky is? We can't. We can think, okay, the same sky is in America as in India, so we get some idea, but that's very, very limited. you know. Still, that is even, as Guru said, that is even less than a mustard seed. And one mustard seed means the whole system of 14 planetary systems. You know? So how much can you guess? If you can surpass the ideas of your entire consciousness, then perhaps you can consider what kind of wonder that ecstasy is. Our brains are always agitating this way and that, trying to understand. But we cannot guess what kind of wonder that is, but it is. If you want that ecstasy, you can try to worship that plane. Then you will get it by the mercy of the real associates of Krishna. Very beautiful. Okay, well, we can read a little bit more for the chapter 8. Divine service. Devotee. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has explained about karma yoga. Can karma yoga ever be seva or devotional service? Srila Govinda Maharaj. Karma and seva, action and divine service, are identical from the external perspective. Bhakti yoga and karma yoga are the same apart from one thing, and that is the inner mood of the practitioner. The inner intention is the all-important differentiating factor. What result is going solely to the Lord and not to the jiva soul? That is called bhakti yoga. When all of one's work will be accredited in the account of Krishna, then that is bhakti yoga. And when the result of one's work is credited to the account of that jiva soul, then that is karma yoga. It is very simple. Yat karoshi yarashnashi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kunteya tat kudushva mad arpanam. Whatever you will do for me, you will not be responsible for any reaction you accrue from that. Karma is giving reaction. Newton's third law is that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Many of Newton's laws have been disputed and even broken, but this law still exists unchallenged. It is not only Newton's law, but it is the law of the Gita, of the Vedic scriptures. We are living within the plane of exploitation. Otherwise, no reaction could come. That is, we are exploiting and exploited within this plane, and so reaction is always coming to us. Once, just after the war of Kurukshetra, a rishi from near Kashmir named Uttanka came before Krishna with a view to curse him. You are the cause of the violence in Kurukshetra. If you had wanted to, you could have easily controlled the situation and prevented it, but you did not. Now millions of women have been widowed as a result of that battle, and I cannot tolerate to hear them cry. You are the cause, and so I shall curse you. Krishna smilingly said, "O Rishi, please give a little hearing to me. You have amassed so much subtle power through your austerity, your tapasya, but that will be useless if you throw your curse upon me. I am existing in the plane of Nirgun, the non-material plane, so your curse will not touch me. All your austerity, tapasya, everything you have acquired, it is all within this material world. It may reach up to the highest plane of this world, Brahmalok, but it cannot touch my position. It will be futile and you will lose everything. So I advise you not to curse me. Please heed my advice to you. I am giving you the knowledge so that you will see who I am." Then with folded hands that rishi took shelter of Krishna. "Now I can see, and you have saved all of my tapasya." That is the plane of Nirgun, and playing there is devotion, the service world. There are three planes: the plane of exploitation, the plane of renunciation, and the plane of dedication. Who is wholeheartedly serving Krishna, he is living in the plane of dedication. He is not responsible for the results of his own activity, yet he is happy with his activities because he is trying to satisfy his Lord. And the Lord is living within the Nirgun plane. So the reactions are not coming to the devotee. I often give the example of a policeman or military man. During war, a soldier may kill hundreds or even thousands of other people, but the responsibility for that must come to the government. So no reaction will come to that man. Any reaction will come to the government. Similarly, a police officer may sometimes kill a criminal while trying to apprehend him. Again, the reaction must come to the government. If through his work anything wrong has happened, then compensation will be given by the government, not from his salary. This is the example. If we offer all our activity for the service to Krishna, then that is Bhakti Yoga. All results will go to Krishna and it will not come back to me. Otherwise, if we are doing karma, following karma yoga, then some reaction will also come to us. It is nature, otherwise the universe would not function. And that is true not just of this universe, but all universes. When we examine this universe, we are amazed, and we think that there cannot be anything more than this, but it is not so. The rishis have seen that like this universe, millions of universes are existing and floating in the river of Viraja. This universe has 14 levels. The upper levels begin with Bur, Bhuvar, Swar, Mahar, Janar, Tapa, and up to Satyalok. And downwards there are Tala, Atala, Vitala, Nitala, Talatala, Mahatala, and Sutala. And like this, millions of universes are floating within the ocean of Viraja. Virajar Pade Shuddha Parvyom Dham Tadupadi Shri Gokul Vrindaranyanam. Crossing over the Viraja, there is Brahmalok, the effulgence of Vaikuntha Lok, Parvyom. Brahmalok means no man's land, equilibrium, or abscissa, and crossing that we can enter the Parvyom Dham. But first we must obtain a visa. Without the correct visa, no one can enter another country. We may obtain a passport from the Mahamaya here or by the grace of Lord Shiva. He has that power. But that will be useless if you cannot get a visa from the Vaikuntha Lok. Vaikuntha is existing within the plane of dedication. And who is fully dedicated, he can get that visa. And even after entering that plane, many inner divisions exist for which you need further inner visas if you want to go there. Sankarshan Baladev, he is the visa officer there. Sankarshan is the master and Yoga Maya is the mistress there. All activity is through the agency of Yoga Maya, and the necessary power is coming from Sankarshan. Yadyapya Shidya Nitya Chit Shakti Vilas Tatapi Sankarshana Ichai Tahara Prakash. Devotee, a brahmachari who lives in the mat of the mission, is in a very safe position because everything he is doing is seva for the mission. But in the grihastha ashram, we are doing so much karma. So how can we be safe in our spiritual life? Srila Govinda Maharaj, it is not always true. The brahmachari may be living in the mat, that may be true externally, but that brahmachari may really be living in narak, in hell. Similarly, one may be living in the grihastha ashram, but he can be residing in heaven. It is only dependent on the inner mood. Taking the saffron cloth, doing some work in the mat, and maintaining the formality, that is not sufficient. The only thing sufficient will be the true mood of devotion. If there is the mood of devotion, then that is very nice. That is quality. Srila Guru Maharaj said we need quality and not quantity. You will see very few brahmacharis in Guru Maharaj's mat. They are coming and staying a few years maybe, but eventually they cannot remain. It is ultimately all depending on the mood of devotion or mood of emotion. If one is living in the mat only emotionally, never going to the deeper level, but only floating on the surface, then he will not get the proper result. And one grihasta can do 100 times more service to Krishna through his genuine mood of devotion. But if one is living in the mat and doing 24 hours per day sincere service, then he must get the proper result. The substance is necessary, and that is devotion. Srila Sridhar Maharaj gave this really nice example on this point about, I can't remember who it was. Was it Jawaharlal Nehru or? But it was during the time of the resistance, around the time just before partition. And so Gandhi was leading this movement, right, against the British. And so at certain, there were periods when the British would imprison, some of these activists, whatever word we want to use. And so there was one occasion, and so they had, like with any mission, right? They had people who were acting full time in the service of the cause, and then there were others who they had other commitments. They had family, they had jobs, etc. And so then there was one incident when there was some type of a raid or something, and the police were arresting lots of people, and many of the people who were like full time for the cause, they were running like afraid, didn't want to be arrested. But there was this one man, and he was like a famous political figure. I can't remember his name, but he was a family man. He had family and he had work and he had other commitments. But he handed himself in. And he handed his whole family in to the police, He gave himself up and his family up, to make a point, And so there was a comment, maybe it was Mahatma Gandhi who made the comment, I envy him, that even though he appears to be, like a world, a man who's busy with many things in the world, still he has more commitment to this than so many people who are supposedly full time, Something he made some comment like that, in his heart he's got a stronger fire burning, in the moment he's ready to go the whole way, give himself up, There's nothing half-hearted about him. What did you say?
When in the casino they play poker, and just put all in.
You risk everything, all the chips in.
All in. So you're either winning or either lose. All in.
I see. Right. That's a nice example. Right, you're taking a major risk, aren't you? Because you could lose everything, or you could get a major return, right?
There's another expression, going for broke.
What's that? Going for broke.
Yeah. All or nothing.
All or nothing. Yeah, exactly. All or nothing. So yeah, it's important, as we mature in our devotional mood, we develop that discerning eye, where we're not just judging practitioners on the basis of what they're doing, how much they're physically committing, but what is that inner spirit of devotion, and especially for persons like ourselves who are supposedly full time, it's easy to become proud about that, oh yeah, I'm there day in, day out, it's easy to become proud about that, but that's not what it's about, it's about the inner mood that is being cultivated.
So in some lecture, Bharat Maharaj says, he said, it's not enough just to do service. you have to risk everything. And I just said, what does that mean? It's not just not to serve, but you have to risk everything. And then you're like how? Like what is that? What does that mean? Like what is everything? And like how to risk that everything? Like it's just so complicated.
That was one thing very striking about Srila Gurudev, though, that like he really had this very like broad spirit in how he reciprocated with the devotees. Like it was never like he was emphasizing like a hierarchy or position or cloth. He was recognizing the mood of the devotees. Whoever it was, if it was a grihasta, if it was a man, if it was a woman, if it was a child, He like kind of like, I don't know, decentralized is the right word, but like took it took away that like formalistic idea, and really, demonstrated this Paramahamsa mood of recognizing the substance wherever it appears, Like I was going through some of Srila Gurudev's talks the other day, and I came across one very sweet, these are like, transcriptions that I did a couple of years ago. There was one very sweet talk he gave in Sokel, and he was like a spontaneous this is like 90 something, maybe 94. It was around the time of the the installation of the deities, Gandharvika Giridhari, which was maybe 94. And that was like the occasion. And I don't remember exactly the day he gave that talk, maybe it was a few days after the installation. But I think it was a Sunday program, and he was like spontaneously glorifying all the devotees, young devotees, old devotees, male devotees, female devotees, children devotees. And then there was this one really beautiful comment he made about Daru Brahma, the wife of Pushta Krishna Prabhu. I don't know if you met her, okay? And Gurudev gave this most profound glorification of her. Because she has special attachment to deity service. And there was some incident, I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was something to do with Srimati Radharani's shoes. There was some incident, like, I don't know, maybe they were the wrong size, or I can't remember exactly what it was, I have to check. But she was crying about it. Because there was something that wasn't quite right about what was being offered to the deity. And maybe it was in Vrindavan that had happened. And Gurudev mentioned this in his talk, and how it had touched him so much. And then he said, and this is so characteristic of Gurudev and his deep appreciation for the devotees. And then he said, and maybe these deities have come because of her devotion, in reciprocation for her devotion, these deities have now come to Socal, something like that, I thought that was so beautiful, because she's a grihasta, she's a lady, she's a mother, she's a wife, and she's the wife of Pushta Krishna Prabhu, so that automatically puts you a little in the shadow, right? Because Pushta Krishna is such a big star, so that he was giving her that level of recognition. I thought that was so beautiful, and he was just kind of I can't think of the right word, but just shaking things up, and really seeing things in this very essential way, looking at not looking what's the position and et cetera, but what is that mood of devotion in the heart, and appreciating that.
She was very attentive to Devidasi Maharani.
Mm-hmm.
When I first arrived at Sokel Ashram, she did such loving care towards her, and helped observe that sometimes.
Hmm.
You could just tell, like, her relationship to Tulsi, Devi, was very profound. And I felt like so honored just to observe that and be in as much alignment with that as I could while she was there.
Well, that's beautiful to hear. And it's also a reminder, like we don't know what's in everyone's hearts, you know. We don't see everything that goes on, and like if Gurudev hadn't told that story about her, like I wouldn't know, like, I wouldn't know her glories,